Sheehan?
I think at some point he's not in here yet, but he said he was in.
I can't wait to recap the game from hell.
I mean, so let's talk about that. Like, what my guess by what the hell do you take away from this game? Like, I don't even know that Brad Stevens is a freaking warlock and managed to get 6 pretty decent quarters, so 4 quarters and 2 overtime periods out of a team that had Jason Tatum and Marcus Morris as their 2 best players. I mean, I don't know. That was just whatever. I mean, whatever. I don't know. Like, what's the biggest takeaway out of that game? That maybe Marcus Morris is better offensively than we thought, or maybe, I don't even know. I don't even know where to go.
Tatum is or isn't clutch.
Oh, well, he was, and then he wasn't. Well, he wasn't to start because that pass was terrible. And then he was.
nice hops by Mook though to grab that Tatum pass.
Yeah, right.
he got maybe. I know he was going backwards, but he maybe got like 2 inches off the ground.
Right. It's still not a great pass. So you have
no.
How we all feel right?
It's funny to me. It was so funny.
No, maybe we start with like, why are we mad? Because like we shouldn't care, but like, damn it, I don't know. I don't even know where to start.
I'm not bad, Evan. It's funny to me.
They had 2 timeouts at the end of the game.
This game broke Sam Sheehan. I guess Beal's not
maybe
quite as
the
fast
most
as
unexpected performance of the night. Maybe we'll go with that. Maybe that's the best angle. With the most unexpected performance of the night.
I don't got anybody.
That
Yahoo Euro stat.
I gotta say, Abdel Nader actively shaving points.
He looked like he was gonna shit himself in that game. He looked. Oubre got in his grill a couple of times, and he looked shook. I don't want any part of this.
Man, he's mistake prone. Like, he does like these silly reach-in fouls that invariably lead to and ones.
Right, but then you look at Nader, and then look at like I'd rather have played Ojale in those minutes. Just play Ojale. Yeah. Like, I can't do Nader.
I don't know if this was the game for Ojale. He's probably like
no,
he might be less offensively talented than Aaron Baines.
He was the worst tonight. No, wait, he wasn't the worst tonight. Aaron Baines was the worst at -16. Somehow Marcus Morris was a -13.
I saw Mook.
Despite being their only source of reliant offense.
Let's just roll into it.
All right, let's just go.
Welcome inside another edition of Celtics Roundtable here on CLNS Media. CLNS Media, the leading online provider of audio, video coverage of your Boston Celtics. It is a Thursday edition of Celtics Roundtable. Coming at you, Evan Valenti, Matt Ignal, Sam Sheehan, after a thrilling game that might have broke Sam Sheehan's spirit and just basically everything about him, because we're all kind of just trying to figure out how to process the double overtime loss to the Washington Wizards, 125-124, your final score of today's show, powered by eHarmony. Go to eHarmony right now and use the promo code Celtics News at Boston Celtics at checkout to get a free month when you sign up for a 3-month subscription. Guys, I'll throw this to Matt because I want to give Sam some time to react and maybe collect himself. But, I mean, we shouldn't be mad about this, but is there anything about this game that stuck out to you in terms of, like, anybody's performance maybe surprised you in a good way? Because, I mean, this is a game that Boston had no business being in, and yet somehow able to drag this double overtime and losing it.
How about a whole lot of Marcus Morris? I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen like such a Morris game. Like, the both of them. I mean, how many shots did they get up in total? 15 from Markieff, 22 from Marcus. It looked like he was putting the game away with a late 3, and then that ridiculous step back too. But I mean, that play at the end of regulation, pretty much inexcusable. So I'm just overwhelmed by the amount of Morris in this game.
Yeah. I was excited for the idea of Morris, Tatum, and Rozier all throwing up 20 shots a game, and we got that. Morris with 22, Tatum 23, Rozier 21. It was an enjoyable experience. How about you, Sam?
It was like so funny. It was the funniest game. I'm laughing right now. I'm not mad at all. It was such a funny game. I mean, look, it was. It's very frustrating to be up 20 points and drop 37 on the opposing team in the first quarter and be up by high double digits in the first quarter and then lose that game. That's always a bummer. I know the Wizards are at least a decent team, and the Celtics were missing like 80% of their payroll. But like, it just, it's frustrating that like, it was just like a frustrating game to see them like get out and play the way they did. I think Yabu was really good. That was my one silver lining I really took away from this game. Is it, I think the Theis injury was particularly like troubling, just because that you're going to need to have a big who can switch and kind of do a feasible job in 1-5 spread pick and roll. That Greg Moose from Funk does not have any chance in those situations, and Aaron Baines, while acceptable, doesn't do great. Yabu was really good at sliding his feet. He got called for some rookie fouls that I think if he's been in the league for 3 years, he kind of gets those calls a little bit. And man, he picked Bradley Beal's pocket. I mean, he threw the ball away on the fast break, but like Yabu was all over the. Yabu was all over the place, man, and I think that's my big silver lining from tonight is, he played really well, and, Jason Tatum had swagger for the first quarter and then just fell off a cliff somewhere. I don't know what happened. The Monstars came for him and took his juice after the first quarter, but man, he really had it cooking during the first quarter.
Yeah, let's talk about Tatum. Not Tatum. Let's talk about Guerschon for a minute, because I was texting Lucky during the game, and I was like, man, it looks like that, Yabusele's just kind of going to say, like, okay, Theis is down. Maybe I can earn a spot on this team. And he played really well. He only played 18 minutes and was a +2 in those minutes, but it felt like the contributions, at least on the glass, were pretty evident. He was moving the ball pretty well. He was really gun shy. It was the one thing about Guerschon, and I respect it. It's like a guy who's just like, I'm going to fill in. I'm just only going to play this role. I'm not going to try and go outside the box. And even times when, you would think I've never seen I haven't seen too many Red Claws games live, but in the highlights you see, like, Yabu's got a quick trigger. He's not afraid to get him up. But in this game, it looked like he was a little hesitant from 3-point range and wanted to make sure he was doing the right thing, which was good. And the defensively, like you talk about the switches, that's hugely important. And what maybe Guerschon can give Boston, I mean, I highly doubt this is going to come up, and I really don't think he's going to provide too many advantages for Boston if he is the guy to fill in for Daniel Theis. But the one thing he might be able to do is allow you to play small but kind of have a big in there, meaning, he's a guy that plays much bigger than maybe his quote-unquote height, because he's so big and tough to move around in the paint. Like, he can anchor it down and maybe control the glass a little bit easier than a guy that's his size but not as much girth. Maybe that's where he fits in. I don't know. But the one thing there's a few things that I liked. But one of the biggest things I liked was Guerschon's, his play tonight. I thought he looked great on, especially defensively. I mean, offensively, a little gun shy. But I think there's definitely, after this game, the one thing I really want more of is more maybe minutes for Yabu. I think he earned it.
5 assists for him. I think that's really good. I think you mentioned it. He's moving the ball really well. We've seen the Euro step on the sideline. Now we see it in game on a fast break. Is truly a dancing bear moment right there. I'm looking at the unpredictable win probabilities here. I mean, it looks like a failed polygraph. It's just utter ridiculousness. This game is gonna it stings now. It's gonna feel bad tomorrow. Sam's going on a flight. I know it's gonna be a long one. Thinking, rehashing this game over and over, because the Celtics had some really great opportunities to win it, being up 20 midway through the second. I mean, they couldn't lose, and then twice more with being up 3 in the final seconds, and then Tatum having a chance to win it at the line so improbably. I mean, I don't know. I kind of want to burn this game. I know people on Celtics Twitter are saying that there's a lot of positives to take away, but for me, like, I don't want to think about this game ever again.
If you want a useful piece of your new dating life, make sure you sign up for eHarmony today. The Today Show is powered by eHarmony. And if you've been dating, trust me, you've probably run into the following things: lazy text messaging, You've run into people that are just kind of weird online. Like, think about that. How many weird people do you meet on like Tinder?
The beginning of the show, man.
It's just so weird.
What do you mean, guys? I'm the single one here. I'm not weird.
Look, a
Say
lot of times
much.
you get random matches that flat out just don't turn into dates, and you can't really get to really know somebody just by looking at a picture and swiping left and swiping right. That's where eHarmony comes into play, because eHarmony is unlike any other dating site out there on the internet. They take steps others do not take to find you a more compatible match, and they are built to help you find lasting, meaningful relationships. They are not just a shallow hookup site. Get that stuff out of here. They have helped over 1 million people all around the world find their perfect match. You can be the one today to get your perfect match. Stop waiting and start your journey today to a satisfying, meaningful relationship. It can be fun to play around with online dating apps, but when you're afraid to fall in love with someone and have a meaningful relationship, there is one app to bring you real love, and that is eHarmony. Come see how eHarmony can change your life. Go to eHarmony.com right now to get started. And our listeners, get hooked up, because if you sign up for a 3-month subscription, you get a free month with it just by using our promo code Boston Celtics at checkout. We're going to get started today. Go to eHarmony.com, enter the promo code Boston Celtics. You get a free month with eHarmony when you sign up with a 3-month subscription. Evan Valenti, Sam Sheehan, Matt Ignal coming at you at a Thursday morning after the Celtics lose a heartbreaker double overtime, 125-124. I feel like there's a massive elephant in the room at this point with the Celtics.
I'm right here, man. You
I know, right?
Oh, sorry.
It's like subtweeting mid-podcast. It's never a good idea. But
I know I'm chunky, but I'm working on it, man. I'm in the gym.
I hear you. Yeah, you run a lot. You run quite a bit. You know, that's pretty impressive. You're like cranking out 7-minute miles when you run like 7 miles. It's pretty impressive. As a guy who can't do that, I salute you, my friend. But now we're done. But this iteration team probably won't be the one that goes to the playoffs. But when you start piling up these injuries, you have to at least think about the fact that Boston might be rolling with a lot of the guys you saw a lot of tonight when it comes time for April and it comes time for playoff time. Like, we'll see what happens with Kyrie Irving. I think he's going to be okay. I just think they're managing that injury as much as they possibly can. Horford's just sick, whatever. That's fine. But this is a team that's may or may not have Marcus Smart for the rest of the year. We don't know with Gordon Hayward. And now that, this team is kind of banged up, there's a little less pressure, I think, on him to come back and try and come back early to make a deep run. This team potentially might not be much different than it is right now. Like, they're going to add, obviously, Kyrie and Al, which are monster pieces of it. But you look at that second unit, and you're going to have to rely on a lot of the guys that we saw tonight. Anybody like maybe, not concerned. Obviously, we're always concerned about that. But anybody have any, new life thanks to what we saw tonight? Maybe, like, I don't know, is the second unit going to be okay? Can Tatum start? Are we going to be screwed if Jaylen Brown has come back? Like, I have way too many, red flags just about the current stature of the Celtics, because we haven't talked about the injuries at all on this podcast, and it's probably the biggest thing that they've gone through this entire season.
So, Daniel Theis being out, we haven't talked about that, but I think it's pretty obvious that that's a huge blow to the Celtics, given the fact that he was really helpful on switches and he was just really good. I was always a big fan of his.
He made me a huge fan. You were really right about that. I was not expecting that. He was exceptional this year.
Yeah, knew how to play. Smart. I mean, gosh, that's up in the air. The Celtics have played their best ball with Smart on the floor, or at least suited up.
Yeah, I feel like if they don't have Smart, that's I don't know how much of a chance they stand against Toronto or Cleveland or some of these chances, that really limits their upside. I mean, they were already operating, when you have an injury like Hayward's, you're already operating from such a small, like you have such a small margin of error. And, the Celtics, they've been very good all year. Jaylen Brown, while extremely lucky to get away with something, that was not more serious, him going out, Smart going out, like, even if Kyrie and Al are healthy, these other guys are still very important to the Celtics. And, as much as I, love Terry Rozier and, Mook and some of these other guys, they really need Smart. Theis, I feel like I saw enough from Yabu tonight that I really do feel like Yabu could replace a lot of the Theis minutes. So I'm talking myself into that. But outside of that, it's bad news on the injury front. Oh, Yabu getting a national TV start. Actually, never mind. This game was good no matter what because Yabu got his first start on national TV. So
I took
honestly,
a picture.
It doesn't matter.
I took a picture of that just to make sure I had visual evidence that it really did happen. I didn't dream it up at all. I had to.
I really think Yabu's good. I'm talking. This is the hill I'm gonna die on. Yabu's good. I don't care. I'm gonna defend him. He's my largest son now.
I mean, out of the guys that you like, out of the rookies that don't play, or the guys at the end of the bench that don't play, I thought that he was probably the best guy they had. Like out of Shemi, I'm not gonna count Larkin because Larkin was actually really good and he's excellent. Out of Shemi, Yabusele, Nader. I mean, the only guy that I really felt any confidence in at all was Yabusele tonight. I didn't think anybody other guys really stepped up at all.
Look, he's really kind of the three tool, big in terms of like, defense, shooting, and, he can also play make. He's just young and unwieldy, and I just
like how this podcast
Matt does not agree with me. We're going InfoWars here.
I want to believe, man.
This podcast started with Yabusele and it's going to end with Yabusele. We just can't get enough of him.
I only want to talk about Yabu is actually the greatest player of all time. We're gonna put fluoride in the water, and we're gonna talk about how this Frenchman has come in and he has saved the Celtics season.
You just convinced me there, Sam.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it took. Just took an Alex Jones impression.
You know what? We're going to talk about this. It's actually Brad Stevens' fault that the Celtics lost this game tonight because he only played 16 points.
Oh, do we want to go there? Because
no, you can blame. I'll actually say you could blame Brad Stevens for that because they had 2 timeouts here in the game. Didn't use any of them with 20 seconds left. I was like, guys, they had 2 timeouts. Not gonna call it. They're only down 1 point. They have 2 timeouts left. Call one. Draw.
They were so.
I don't. Brad ATOs in that game. They were automatic.
No, they were
automatic.
They were running plays because there were so many replays that they were able to use those timeouts. I mean, come on, they got the shots they wanted. I think.
Yeah.
I'll be mad about it for a minute.
Wow, it's not like the Celtics had
played
a free throw or anything to like win the game at the buzzer. If that got missed, it would have been really bad. But
the time Tatum did, that was really tough. That was tough.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
guys, I'm not mad. It's so funny.
Tatum went from the unclutch on the inbounds pass to Morris to clutch, making the tough shot, the scoop shot to get to the line, and then missed the free throw. He went from unclutch to clutch to unclutch in a matter of 4 minutes.
Extremely Carmelo Anthony line for Jason Tatum tonight.
23 shots.
Yeah,
I'm okay with it though.
2018 Carmelo, yeah.
Yeah, well, he was second on the team in plus minus, I think. Besides Greg Moose from Funk, so there's that. It's just Carmelo Anthony. Just inefficient points, but. Maybe it helps the team. I don't know.
Went in the basket. those balls went in the basket. That's a valuable play.
I hated that friggin' game.
That game sucked. Because it got all your hopes up. It was like in the first half, I was like, what am I watching? Is this for real? Is Boston going to pull this one out of their ass and they're going to be able to win this thing? And then just the slow drip. The slow drip is what killed it. And then, to have chances to win the game late in the game really, really sucked. But
that was the hope, despair, Junko Nishima move of a game right there, and I'm mad online about it.
Yeah, let's just stop talking about it. Let's end this episode with that. We're gonna get out of here because if we talk about this game anymore,
no, that was a perfect analogy right there.
Yeah, it's a perfect analogy.
I didn't understand any of that.
This was Danganronpa right here.
Yeah, I Danganronpa to the face. I didn't even see it coming.
Just lifted us up only to crush us.
Let's end on a Danganronpa reference.
No, we're going to keep breaking down Yabu. I'm going to do 9 more Danganronpa things, or we can end the episode. I guess
let's just end the episode now. Today, I want to thank you all for tuning in to today's episode. Today's episode powered by eHarmony. Go to eHarmony right now, eHarmony.com. Use the promo code Boston Celtics. Get a free month off when you sign up for a 3-month subscription by using our promo code Boston Celtics. Thanks to you guys for tuning in. You can follow us on Twitter at CLNS Roundtable. You can also check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to CLNS Media. You can subscribe to the Boston Celtics newsfeed on iTunes and Stitcher. We're literally everywhere. So make sure if you get a podcast somewhere, you find out where we are by subscribing to the Boston Celtics newsfeed and downloading every episode. Sam Sheehan, Matt Ignal, Evan Valenti. We're going to try and not be as mad next time because game will be a little bit better. I don't know. I'm pissed. Thanks to Sam. I'm really angry. But at least we had Yabu. That's it for this episode. We'll see you guys next time on Celtics Roundtable right here on CLNS Media.